ஹலோ.
சொல்லுங்க மேம், கேக்குது.
ஓகே சார். எல்லாம் ஆடிபிளான்னு செக் பண்றேன். ஓகே சார், ஐ ஸ்டார்ட். Good morning, students. We'll see our fourth unit, right? We are seeing that message authentication and integrity. That in this authentication and integrity, we are seeing that our basic authentication requirement. Then what are the functions available in your authentication, right? There is the three function: MAC, a hash function, and message encryption, right? So our message encryption is the basic conventional authentication function. Then message authentication code is something just over step to another authentication. Then a hash function is the application oriented algorithm, right? These three functions are we are seen in our authentication function. So in this continuation, we are in our last class topic is security of hash function and map. Today we will see a secured hash algorithm, right? The next topic is SHA, SHA, right? In short form, it called as SHA. So in this continuation, just we will recap or we'll see the recap for our last class, that security of hash function and MAC, right? So in this security of MACs, we have already known the block ciphers are used in this MAC function. Then this proof, there are so many attacks are we are seen in this hash function and also our MAC. So in this part, we are seeing that our basically in our hash function is a birthday attack and some other things, right? So in our security of MAC is having the brute force attack, that is the power of our collision resistance having 2 power m by 2. So in this part, we are knowing that our MAC pairs and either attack key spaces are also used in your security. Then the cryptanalytic attacks exploit the structure. It also having the brute force attacks to give the best alternative solution. So there are n number of variety of your MAC code is produced for the various analysis to generalize about our cryptanalysis, right? So in this part, we are already known that types of MAC, HMAC and CMAC, right? Then hashing message authentication code and cipher message authentication code. This part, your HMAC security having the part of relates to the underlying hash algorithm. It is also then the attacking HMAC requires either the brute force attack or birthday attack. Already you've seen, right? So choose your hash function used based on the speed versus security constraints. In this part, our CMAC is having the different authentication algorithm. So we already we seen the diagram and so many iteration for this data authentication algorithm. Based on these, each and every padding part is worked. Then finally, MAC is now too small for security. Then HMAC security having the attack either brute force attack or birthday attack, right? The same thing. Then CMAC having the message sizes limitation, it can overcome using two keys and padding, right? So in this part, the cipher-based message authentication codes are adopted by this part of NIST SP800. Up to this, we are seen in our last class, right? Security of hash function and security of hash functions and MAC, right? So today we will move on to our part of SHA. So in this SHA, we need to know about the workflow for this secure hash algorithm. So what are the applications available in this hash function? Then this application, what are the criteria we are filtering this particular part of SHA, right? So our main purpose for this hashing function is that we need to take care of authentication, but not the encryption, right? But because of encryption, you need to focus about the keys and your message by doing your operational decryption side. But in this part of authentication, we need to take care of your messages a fully secured way, right? So in this authentication, already in our first topic, authentication requirement, we see that number of authentication requirements involved in this unit, right? But in the part of our SHA or one-way hashing, we need only these four authentication requirement. What is that? First, masquerade is the insertion of message from fraudulent source, right? Then modification, that is content modification or sequence modification or timing modification. So already we are seeing clearly in our authentication requirement in our first class, right? So if you If you forget, just you recollect your fourth unit first topic, right? What are the authentication requirements available in your message authentication and integrity part, right? So this background theory for this hashing algorithm is we need to take care of the two things: message digest or it's called as fingerprint. Another thing, message digest. Then second application is SHA, right? So here the contents representation is easy to generate for a given file. Then we need to take care of our information by using the various method. So here you are computationally infeasible to produce two messages with the same message digest. The what is the thing going to happen here? That is the impossible to recreate a message given a message digest, right? So in this part of the in your syllabus, they won't give you the topic for message digest is expanding. So just to know the information about like a part A question, right? So message digest having the data integrity and comparison checking. So here you need to check about your message integrity validation and your message workflow and sequence everything, right? Then the hash function application is the application part is here. General one-way hash functions doing these are the things. Public algorithms maintain the password logins, then encryption, key management, digital signature. And integrity checking is the thing that are going to your application part is virus and malware scanning, right? So in your authentication application part is applying by using these are the connectivity. சரியா? So it having the secure web connections, that is PGP and SSL and SSH and MIME, right? These are the things for application of one-way hash functions. Then these are the variants involved in this hash function. So MD4, MD5 invented by the Ron Rivers in the year of 1990 and 1994. Then SHA 01 by NSA 1993 and 19 in the year of 1995. Then the revised version, the part of 2002. The versions are 224 and 256, 385 and 512, right? Then SHA-3 is the winner selected from the year of 2012, right? So this is the variance involved this one-way hash function. So in your syllabus, your main thing is the SHA and in general they are given the topic as SHA. So we need to just take care of the two things SHA 1 and SHA 512, right? So this is the part of invented in the year of 2012 is the now the research is going under this part. So we are taking the limited requirements and workflow for this SHA3. So this is the basic hash function diagram. So in this part, you see that your message is taken from your side. Then the normal senders want to transfer the message. Then here you need to append your code with the help of your hash key, right here. Then what does this S say? S says here it is a single security key, right? The S denotes the single security key. That two things are appended by using the hash code. Then your message is in the form of like this message with the hashing function. Then you need to compare your code with the help of that single security key. Then you need to take care of your hash function key. Then both the messages are need to be compared by using this one-way hash function, right? So in this part, the continuation message diagram for this thing, you take care of your message is that length into 512 bits, then n into 32 bits word. Then the original message is entirely, see this color, blue color represent your original message. So in this part, your padding need to be taken. So padding is the nothing but you take on the bit from 1 to 512. So what is the last column here? The 2 power 64 is our K-mod message length, right? So this is a fully theoretical oriented topic, right? If you want to derive the basis for your what is the output for this SHA and everything, you need to take your message digest with the example. Then by applying this padding and some other things in depth view, then only you can get your output, right? So in this part, we need to take care of our all the bits in the comparison of keywords. The 512 bits is nothing but 16 words. So you need to compare and everything is with the help of block oriented, right? So the whole messages are split into block wise. This is a simple example for your message digest. Then we move to our topic secure hash algorithm. So in this secure hash algorithm called as SHA, right? So originally it was designed by NIST and NSA in a year of 1993. It was revised in 1995 SHA-1. Then this US standard for use with the DSA signature scheme. The standard is FIBS 181 in the year of 1995, and also the Internet RFC 3174. The algorithm is called SHA and the standard is SHS. Right? So here the algorithm nothing but the name for this algorithm is secure hash algorithm. The SHS secure hash standard, right? So here the function in a secure hash algorithm was developed by the National Institute of Standard and Technology and published as a Federal Information Processing the Standard FIPS, right? The expansion for FIPS is Federal Information Processing Standard in the year of 1993 initially. Then they are taken into the revised version in the 1995, that is a 181. So the actual standards document is entitled the Secure Hash Standard. So it is based on the hash functions MD4 and design closely the models SHA MD4. Then SHA1 produces a hash value of 160 bit. In 2005, the results the research team take over to that next thing. They are more concentrate on more focusly about the attack. In this attack, in which two separate messages would be found that deliver the same SHA1 hash using the 2 power 69 operations. So for fewer than 2 power 80 operations previously thought needed to find a collision within SHA-1, right? So this result has been the transition to newer, longer versions of SHA. So that revised secure hash standard is that NIST produced a revised version the year of 2002. That FIPS is the next version 180-2, right? So that defined three versions of SHA having the hash value length of 256, 384, and 512 bits. So this is known as likely we are called the name as SHA 256, SHA 384. So please remember this, the hash key value length of 256, 384, then 512 bits known as SHA-256, then SHA-384, then SHA-512, right? So collectively these three hashed algorithms are known as SHA-2. So here these new versions have the same underlying structure and is used the same type of modular arithmetic and logical binary operation as SHA-1. Like so we need to take over the Hans analysis should be similar, and the revised document was having that increased part of all the versions, that 183, then in a year of 2008, then it takes a bit version as 224. It is also specified in RFC 4634. So these all the things should take her in the year of 2005. Then the intention to phase about our approval of SHA-1 and move to reliance on the other SHA versions by 2000. And these all the things having the authentication part, but the security levels are rather higher, right? Then these are the SHA version. The comparison for this versions is SHA-1. See the word clearly. The 224, 256, 384, 512 all are bits, right? So in this part, message digest size is SHA-1 having 160, 224 having the 224. So see this clearly. The size represents the name, right? So 160, 224, then 256, 384, and 512. Here your message size is that less than 2 per 64 for the first three thing. Then the 384 and 512 is 2 per 128, right? So it increases the double the authentication and security purpose. Then your block sizes are 512 for the same thing. If it is 64, then your block size is 512. If it is 128, then automatically it is increased by 2 times, right? So 1024 is your block size for SHA-384 and SHA-512. Then the word size also the same thing. Here it takes the 32 bits. Here that the 64 bits for your word size. Then how many number of steps take over by this each and every secure hash algorithm? The SHA-1 having 80, then SHA-224 and 256 only the 64 number of steps, right? So these are all the things you need to take care of for this your comparison version. So in detail part of our SHA-1, the secure hash algorithm already known, developed in the year of NIST along with NSA. Then in the 1993, there's the initially published as a Federal Information Processing Center, that is FIPS, right? These are the following versions, 0, 1, 2, 3, but we need to take care of our SHA-1, right? So see here, already we known the comparisonal version, right? SHA-1 and 224, 512 in this last 11th slide, right? So now we are in the slide number 13. So here the SHA-1 works for any input message. See, up to this, there is a story part of this SHA-1, right? So from this onwards, please listen carefully and see the iteration step for your algorithm explanation. This SHA-1 is, it works for any input message that is less than 2 per 64 bits. So output for this SHA is a message digest of 160 bits in length. So this is designed to be computationally infeasible to obtain the original message, and given its message digest, see this, the two important feasible solutions we need to take that infeasible solution. So it is mainly designed to be computationally infeasible for obtain the original message given its message digest. Then second thing, find the two messages producing the same message digest. So can you understand these two things clearly? Obtain the original message given its message digest. So we need to take care of our original message, then we can move to our message digest. Then second thing, find two messages producing the same message digest. So we need to take care of these two things, right? So the next thing, how the SHA-1X works. So just to see the our initial hashing algorithm, the SHA-1X is step one, padding of bits. So you note down the step clearly. How the SHA-1 works, that is the work representation of our SHA-1. So step one, padding of bits, right? So this is a diagram already I explained in this secure hash algorithm, right? That is a one-way hash function. So you take off your original message, then this is taken by the length into 512 bits, then that is n into 32 bits, that both are equal. Then the whole message is taken in the k bits. Then you need to take care of our padding bits, so 1 to 512 bits. Then each and every block is separated by the help of that 16 words, right? So the second step is we need to append our length. What is it append? Adding, right? So append length. Then the third thing, divide the input into 512 bit blocks. So up to this part, I'll explain the step 3, right? So what is the first step? Padding of bits. Then second thing, append length. Third one is divide the input into 512 bits, right? Then the next thing, step 4 is the initialize the chaining variables. What are the chaining variables? Here just I am taking the, not me, the algorithm or the rule framer is taking the chaining variables as A, B, C, D, E, right? So they are initialize the chaining variable. These 5 chaining variables are used in our SHA-1. So here we need to parallelly write our hexa value for this variables. So these are the hexa variables. So because of they are in this secure hash algorithm, your chaining variables are taken by the value of hexa values only, right? So then process blocks. So now the actual algorithm starts from this step 5 only. So in this step 4, it is a initialization process. So step 1 is padding of bits, second is append length, third is divide the input into 512 bit blocks, then the fourth is initialize the chaining variables. Now we will move to our algorithm part. So step 5 is the process blocks. So here how your algorithms work. Copy the chaining variables A to E into a variable small a to E, right? So already we are initializing our chaining variables capital A to E. We now the first step for this algorithm is we just copy that chaining variables capital A to E into our small variables A to E, right? Then step of 5, next our second partial division for this algorithm step is divide the current 512 bit block into 16 sub-blocks of 32 bits. So you just take care of the things. How many 32 bits are going to convert into 512? 32 into 16, right? So you need to take care of your division in the terms of 32 bit, right? So just divide 512 divide by 32. How much you are having? 16, right? So this divide the current 512 bit block into 16 sub blocks of 32 bits. Then your next subpart is the SHA has 4 rounds, right? See the rounds clearly. See, don't write the story. If you are writing something, don't change the rounds number and the block size and how many iterations and everything, right? So SHA has 4 rounds, each consisting of 20 steps. So each round takes a 3 inputs. See the word clearly. SHA has 4 rounds, each consisting of 20 steps. Each round takes 3 inputs. That is 512 bit block. Then the register ABCDE. Already we are copying the capital A to E into small ABCDE, right? So we are take care of our input is 512 bit block. Then register ABCDE. Then the constant k of t where t equal to 0 to 79 because the 80 bits are used, right? Check here the version. Check here the version. Number of steps is 80, right? So here we are need to take care of our algorithm part is that 1 to 79, the constant k of t, right? This round 1 to 4 because we are using that 4 rounds, right? See clearly in your step 5, that is the important part of your SHA algorithm of workflow. So take care of your value of t between the first round taking just 1 to 19, right? Then second round taking 20 to 39 because each round take out the carry value of 20. So that means 0 to 19, right? Then 20 to 39, 40 to 59, then 60 to 79. So I thought you're clear in this your round function. It has 4 rounds, so 80s are divided into 1 to 20. Similar thing, we are take over 0 to 19, 20 to 39. Here, just a mistake. Here, the 0, there is no start of 1. Here, it is 0 to 19, then 20 to 39, then 40 to 59, 60 to 79. Okay. Then this next point, it has a total of 80 iteration already known, right? So that 4 rounds into 20 iteration. Each iteration consists of the following operation. See the operation clearly. You need to write this operation as a very correct manner, right? No need to change of any terms and that cover something. That A, B, C, D is our input register. So here you take care of your last thing E variable, then plus your process B plus S bar I 5 as a iteration, secure key of iteration 5. Then your input variable start A plus W of T. T varies from already you know. What is the changes? T equal to 0 to 79, right? Then plus K of T also. Then A comma S bar 30 of B and C comma D. This is the essential part of equation to calculate this iteration. Sorry, this operation, right? So each iteration consists of following operations. So here ABCD is a register made up of 5 variables. Then process the logic operation. Then S part is a circular left shift. See the word S power T is a circular left shift of 32-bit subblock key. Subblock by T bits, right? Then W of T is that a 32-bit derived from the current 32-bit subblock. Then K of T is the one of the 5 additive constants, right? So W of T is a 32-bit derived from the current 32-bit subblock. And then K of T is the one of the 5 additive constant, right? So up to this our fifth part, that is our main algorithm is explained. So each and every process take over, we need to take care of process B in each and every SHA round. So we are known that we are having 4 rounds. So the first round taking the processes B and C or not of B and D, right? So you need to know about each and every round process thing, right? The second round taking B XOR C XOR D. BCD, you are doing your XOR operation. Then round 3, B and C take out by the AND operation. Then the same thing B and D perform by another and C and D perform by another AND. Then these all the things take out by the commonly OR operation, right? Then the fourth round is B XOR with the C and C XOR with a D, right? So you need to know about each and every round take what are the process. See this diagram. See in your writing part for this part B for the SHA is you need to concentrate your iteration diagram and algorithm, right? So whatever we are explaining in this the previous algorithm step, we are just to take on by the iteration. See here, the ABCDs are variable, right? Then what is that here? Process B. Just they are taken by this equation, right? then process B. Then after that, you need to add with this process B to RE, right? C directly take out to process B, then a D directly to process B, then B. Here A is take out by the S power 5. Because the circular shift power 5, then added to this value. Then everything is the OR operation, right? So we are taking the that add block, right? Then the W of T, W of T and K of T, right? So they are taking the part for this operation. That means this operational equation, they just changing into this diagrammatic way, right? Do you have any doubt in this part of operation writing? Then finally they are integrating these all the things, right? So B and with the help of process B is key of C. Then here that directly D comes to here E. Then these are all the additional part with the help of WT and KT transfer over to here your D variable, right? So this is the algorithm part and diagram iteration in your SHA-1. Then how it works is already you see the diagram. So the value of W of T are calculated as the following rules. So for the first 16 words of W, that is 0 to 15, the contents of the input message of sub block of M of T becomes the contents of WT, right? So for the remaining 64 values of W are derived using the equation like in this way, that W of T equal to S power 1, that is circular shift power 1, then T minus 16, then XR T minus 14, then XR T minus 8, then XR T minus 3. This is another one equation by using this remaining 64 values of W, right? So we need to derive the 64 values of W by using this equation. Then this comparison of our MD5 and SHA-1 is that here the points, most taker of the points is that message digest length is 128 bits in MD5, in SHA-1 is 160. So here the attack to try and find the original message given in a message digest requires 2 power 128 operations to break in. Here it requires 2 power 160 operations to break in. So here therefore more secure is needed. Then attack to try and find two messages producing the same message digest that requires 2 power 64 operations to break in. Here it break in that 2 power 80 operations. So we need to collect the requirement as 2 power 80 operations, right? Then the speed is MT5 having the fastest speed. Here it is very slow comparing to MD5. Then the successful attempts so far here, there have been reported attempts to some extent. Here there is no such claim so far. So these are the comparison part of our MD5 and SHA-1, right? So SHA-3 already you know that is the recent way of updation in the year of starting year of 2012. So in this SHA-1 is not yet broken, but similar to broken of our MD5 and SHA-0. So here considered that insecure. That means there is no one has demonstrated a technique for producing collisions in less than that brute force time, right? So, however, because SHA-1 are having very similar in structure and in basic mathematical operations used to MD5, SHA-0, everything here is same, but both of have been broken. The SHA-1 is considered insecure and has been phased out for SHA-2, right? Then it is particularly the 512-bit version would appear to provide unaccessible security. Here the SHA-2 shares the same structure and mathematical operation and procedures. So concern on this because it will take years to find a suitable replacement for SHA-2 uh, because it become vulnerable, that NIST decided to begin the process of developing a new hash standard. According to NIST announced in the year of 2017, a competition for the SHA-3 next generation NIST hash function. So here the winner in this part is Keyhack as a winner of October 2012, the standard for this Q12 2014, right? So in this SHA-3 requirements is that the basic requirement must satisfied by any candidate of SHA-3 are it must be possible to replace SHA-2 with the SHA-3. Any use of application, the simple drop-in substitution. Therefore, the SHA-3 must support the hash value length of 224, 256, 384, and 512 because it is just a overcoming for these basic version, right? So here the SHA-3 must preserve the online nature of SHA-2. That is, the algorithm must process comparatively small blocks, 512 or 1024 bits at the time instead of requiring that the entire message be buffered in memory, right? So beyond these basic requirement, NIST has defined the set of evaluation criteria as that designed to reflect the equipment in the main applications covered by the SHA-2 are the security, the strength of SHA-3 should be close to the theoretical maximum for the different required hashes. Then here the cost and time and memory should be also concentrated. Then characteristics for this switch flexibility and simplicity, right? So we need to take care of these all the evaluation criteria. So in this your exam point of view, the SHA-3 is just an introduction part. There is no that not much explanation needed, right? In your SHA-512, see, the comparison SHA having the two major parts, SHA-1 and SHA-512, right? So you need to write in your part B question the introduction part of SHA, then what are the versions you are having, then what are the years they are released, then you need to directly write SHA-1 and SHA-512, right? So here this algorithm takes a message of length 2 power 128 bits and it produces a message digest of size 512 bits, right? So this SHA-512 was closely modeled after SHA-1, so which itself modeled on MD5, right? So directly we will move to our algorithm part. So here the same things and the same algorithms are taking once again. So just to see what is the different part of algorithm steps, right? So here the SHA-512, how your SHA-512 works. Step 1, padding of bits. So here 128 bits short of a multiple of 1024. So what is in your first SHA-1? Padding of bits is a 1 to 512 bits, right? So here 128 bits short of multiple of 1024. Then second thing, your step 2 is append length. The same thing also in your SHA-1. Then step 3 is divide the input into 1024 bit blocks. See, just you come to here. What is your algorithm in your SHA-1? Divide the input into 512 bit block, right? But just you check the comparison part also. So it is easier to write in your exam point of view. The first algorithm, step 1 is padding of bits. Here the padding bits is 1 to 512 bits. But in your SHA-512, 1024 bits, right? And the second one is appended length. The same also there also. Then step 3, divide the input into 512 bits for your SHA-1. Here in SHA-512, divide the input into 1024 bit blocks, right? Then step 4, initialize the chaining variables. Here also, in that they are taking the 5 values, right? A, B, C, D, E, right? So here how much values input, how much chaining variables they are chosen? 8 variables, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. See the chaining variables clearly. In your SHA-1, they are taking just a 5 variable as the chaining variables. Check here, A, B, C, D, E. Here they are taking the chaining variables as 8 variables, right? So our next part of step by that is in this part, we'll move to our algorithm in depth, right? So same here, the step 5.1 is a copy the variable capital A to H to small a to H. Then divide that 1024 bit block into 16 subblocks of 64 bit. So what is the thing? The same here, right? You can divide that 1024 bits divide by 64. What is your value? 16, right? So in there also 512 bit block divided into 16 subblocks of 32 bits, right? So the use the word clearly. Just all the terms are increased in twice, right? So in your SHA-1 algorithm, divide the 512 bit block into 16 subblocks of 32 bit each, right? So in your 512 parts, here we are take over the 1024 bits into 16 subblocks. Then the step 3, here also it takes 80 rounds with the 1024 bit block. So you need to assign your small chaining variables into your register. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H into register and K of T constant as 3 inputs, right? So what are your input? 1024 bit block and in your chaining variable A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, then K of T constant as a input. So here your operation equation is each round consists of following operations. So what is that? Your temporary variable 1 having the input of H plus CH of EFG, then a sum of E of I for I equal to 1 to 512 bits plus W of T plus square constant, right? So your temp 2 is calculated sum of E of I for I varies from 0 to 512 plus our measure of MAJ, ABC, three variable, right? So you need to take care of this equation. You need to write correctly. So your A equal to temp1 plus temp2, then your new B is assigned by the value of A, then a C equal to assign the value of B. So your iteration is just a diagonal oriented, right? Then D equal to C, then your E is a D plus temp1, then F equal to E, then G equal to F, H equal to G. This is your SHA 512 working condition, right? That is, you need to take care of these all the equations. So each round consists of these all the operations, right? So where T equal to round number, here CH of EFG is a take the AND function for E and F, then XOR of not E and G. Then here your MAJ ABC is that A and B, then XOR A and C, then XOR A, B and C, right? So in this part of theoretical explanation, definitely you are having little bit confusion. You just take by yourself, then just see and study. So sum of EFI is the rotation part of EFI by 28 bits, then XR rotation R AFI by 34 bits. Then each and everything explained by this keyword only, right? So here that circular right shift, ROTR is that circular right shift, that is rotation of the 64-bit array X by the specified number of bits. WT is the word 64-bit word derived. In your SHA-1, what is the WT? 32-bit word derived, right? So 64-bit word derived from the current 512-bit input block. K of T is the constant for the 32-bit in your SHA-1. Here it is the 64-bit in a additive constant, right? So plus or add is the addition for the mod 2 power 64. In case of values of WT for the first 16 rounds, that is 0 to 15, the value of WT is equal to the corresponding word in the message block. For the remaining 64 steps, the value of WT is equal to the circular left shift by 1 bit of the XOR of 4 preceding values of WT. What is that for? 4 rounds, right? So with two of them subjected to shift and rotate operation, right? So in this part of up to this is our algorithm point of view. So the see this diagram. This is your SHA vital overview. So you take care of your message into n into 1024 bits. And the total message is in this L bits. Taken the padding value 1024 bits. Each and everything is divided into block size, right? The block carrying 1024 bits, and take the value, then add the your append key value. So this is the final hash key, H0 to Hn, right? This is the hash code is the 512 bits, right? So here your plus denotes and equal to word by word addition of modulo 2 power 64, right? So I thought you are clear in this diagram. The same diagram here they are represented by the symbol plus and everything. Here they are taken by the word add and sum and mg, right? The same equations are changed over into just like this diagram. Then this is a simple round function. So they are, see this simple round function. This round function you need to take care of your, already you know this structure having 80 rounds, right? Then each 64-bit word is shuffled along one place and then some cases manipulated using a sense of some logical functions and not or XOR and rotates. So in order to provide that avalanche and completeness properties of hash functions, the elements are already you know that equation, right? That's all the things. So here your value as getting your value with the help of WT and the constant KT. So you know that your input is a word function, right? So everything take on and performed by using this round function. So the compression function for this 512 consists of 80 rounds, updating 512-bit buffer, then 64-bit value, right? So up to this, your 512 operation is over. So you need to compare these all the things. Already I show in your comparison version in the beginning, right? See the same slide again repeating, because why I should show, this is the initial part of version comparison you should know in the theoretical. Now you are seeing about your all the algorithms, right? So now once again you check this algorithm comparison version. So your message digest is 160, here 256, then 384 and 512. Then these all the things, message size in a bit 2 per 64. Here it is 2 per 128. Then the block size in bits 512, here 1024. The word size is 32, here it is 64, right? So up to this part is over in our SHA-1. So conclusion is here, it produces a message digest which has an application and digital signature. Then this algorithm initially was initially major concern for defense authority. So in this way, you get contributed in secure and robust encryption, right? So up to this part, our SHA is over. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. We'll see our next topic for digital signature and authentication protocol and DSS in our next class. If you have any doubt in this SHA,